Good morning, students. Today we are going to learn about relationship marketing. What is relationship marketing? Why it is important for the company? What are the stages involved in the relationship marketing? As the word goes, relationship marketing is all about building a longer term relationship with the customer. It involves customer loyalty, as we'll study in the next slide. So, relationship marketing is a facet of customer relationship management (CRM) that focuses on customer loyalty and long-term customer engagement rather than shorter-term goals, like in transactional marketing, where customer acquisition and individual sales is stressed upon. So, when for any company would want to have the repeat customer or the product being referred to others. Whereas in transactional marketing, for example, real estate sales, where it involves higher ticket value, that time the individual sales can be stressed upon. Or let's say the timeshare industry, it's a part of the hospitality industry. If you have heard of Club Mahindra or the Country Club, they usually focus on the transactional marketing, whereas the individual sales, because they have a network of their outside marketing agents who you will find on the petrol pump or in a mall. They'll give you a scratch card, you'll scratch, you'll go to their venue, and there they will force you to buy the product then and there only. So, the goal of relationship marketing or customer relationship marketing is to create strong, even emotional customer connections to a brand that can lead to ongoing business, free word of mouth promotion, and information from customers that can generate leads. Now, here three things are covered. One is the emotional connection with the customer. When we develop an emotional connection with the customer, be it sending wishes on the birthday through an SMS or an e-greeting card on his mail ID as registered on the form when he submits the form. So it's very important that we develop an emotional connection, if not electronically, verbally also. If the customer walks in, so we have to talk not just about the product, but sir, how are you doing? How was your day? So that makes him feel that I'm not here to buy anything. You know, you don't when the customer service representatives, they are not forcing the customer to directly show the product. Oh, we have this kind of, if they are just greeting the customer, that takes away that load on the customer, that he has entered the particular showroom, and he is being forced straight away on the product. So maybe he has just come with a mind that okay, I want to buy a car. I had it in my mind. I have a two-wheeler. I have a small family. Everyone has a car. I also want to have a car. When he walks into the showroom, he's not asked about anything straight away. Oh, sir, so look at this model. This has this feature. This has that feature. It costs you this much. That really turns off the customer. No, we have to develop that connection with the customer so that he thinks about the company. The company is not only about the sales, it's also about developing an emotional connection with the customer. That will help him free word of mouth promotion. That includes two parts. First is his first experience with the company when, let's say, he's entered into the showroom, and let's say he buys the vehicle and he's getting the regular messages, or on his anniversary, on his birthday, and after sales service, when he gets a service, he gets a timely service call, sir, your service is due, please. So, and he knows that is after the sales, the vehicle parts are reasonably priced. Then so many, so a breakdown is there, they give you 24/7 assistance. So that helps him to say, tell his brother or in his family. That's a free marketing basically. So that is like word of mouth promotion and information from customer that can generate leads. So both are connected. When a customer would propagate about your company, that the company has good products, that would automatically lead to new leads, and that could lead to sale, continuous sale from that same tree that the customer has created. In simple language, relationship marketing is anything designed to keep your customers buying from you. Let's go to another slide. What are the benefits of relationship marketing? As per one article by the by the Harvard University, it says that increasing customer retention rates by 5% increases profits by 25 to 95%, which means that our main focus should be how can we retain the customer who has bought the products from us, or the customer who has walked in to our store, or online store. How can we engage him so much, or how can we satisfy him so much that he becomes a repeat customer to us and he brings more customer to us. So that increases profits by 25 to 95%. Over two-thirds of all companies report getting better return on investment when they work to keep their previous customers than when they try to get new ones. Getting a new customer is very expensive. If you talk about the Google AdWords, it's also very expensive. You are marketing in your different regions where you think that you will attract the customers by some advertisement, but that costs a lot. But when already a customer has bought and is satisfied, he would definitely refer your product to others. So that ways you save on the cost. Many a times, I've been a part of an international website that sells indoor planting devices, wherein there are more in US they sell, because in India it's not very much prevalent. So there, the customers who have bought and are satisfied, they refer that same company to other customers who are also willing to have an indoor garden area or indoor plantation. Higher customer lifetime value. So when a customer is coming back to you, his entire in his entire lifetime, if you calculate, let's say even a car, he has bought a Maruti car, or let's say a Honda car. So customers, if he's satisfied, for what, after comparing all the the different models and different companies, he has bought and he's satisfied with the customer service, he's satisfied with the features, he is satisfied with the after sales service, and he is getting regular updates from the company that if any flaw is there. For example, some time back, the many a times the companies calls back, I don't want to name the companies call back the automobile that your airbag is not functioning, it needs to be fixed free of cost, or some there is some problem. So that makes the customer feel that I need to buy the same product because I can rely on that. Now it says that the Honda car, at least for 5 years, doesn't give you any expenses. See, and the Ford also started marketing a few years back the same thing, that the service cost for the next 5 years would be 4,000 rupees for the Ford EcoSport. So that makes the customer feels that okay, when he's going for the service of his car, he is basically not spending too much amount of money. And same goes for the apparel also. If you have bought some product from, let's say, Shoppers Stop, and you are very much satisfied from their product, and or the Max store, so, or from the Lifestyle, so you are satisfied with their quality, and you again go and they have the national brand, they have the in-house brand, but their in-house brand has worked well for you. So sometimes people go for the sustainable brands also, but and they feel that they're doing something good for the environment also, so they again go for that same brand. Another example which I want to cite over here is the Amazon is delivering all the FMCG products to the home, and many that is the feedback that customer feels, that what I have received the feedback, that their product are good quality. They don't have the expiry date which is coming nearby, so which makes them buy that same product again and again. So ultimately in his lifetime he's buying the product from that same company and his total value becomes a lot. Reduction in marketing spend, definitely. If your customer is coming back, you don't need to have a very big marketing budget or marketing expenditure. Great reviews. Now, when here, let's take an example of the mobile phones. Lot of people, they buy the mobile phones after looking at the reviews, because the model says it is 5G, it has a 48 megapixel camera, it has 4 cameras, it is 64 megapixel camera, it has this processor, it has the the Snapdragon processor, so it has the MediaTek, the newest processor, it has the 6 GB RAM, 8 GB RAM. But ultimately what matters is the reviews. When I would want to buy any mobile phone, I would definitely want the review. If somebody has got an iPhone, so iPhone goes by because of its brand name, because it has created that brand value of its own, that goodwill of its own, that and it's becomes a kind of a status product. So the people go for that. But for someone who's looking for a utility product, or for something that specifically he's looking for, let's say a middle class person who's looking for a product which can give him good camera and basic working, doesn't hang, then he would compare different brands. Vivo he'll compare, Oppo he'll compare, Mi he'll compare, and accordingly he'll make his decision. Benefits of relationship marketing. Well, it's a two-way communication for valuable customer feedback. Customer who develop a relationship with you, definitely, if you have developed a good relationship with the customer, there is a customer feedback form which the customer usually fills in. Even for any thing, you buy or you get your product serviced, whether it's your water filter, whether it is your LED, you get a form, or on your SMS you'll find that please give the rating. So that rating is very important, and also it says that after all, if they trust you, they will expect you to listen to them, of course. So you have to take into consideration what customer is saying. We cannot just sell what we want to sell. It is not the it is a customer centric market, not the product centric market. What we are producing, that has to be sold. No, here every feedback matters. So if you go to any apparel store, they have a feedback form which you can fill in and tell them that some particular category is lacking, it's not there. And so definitely they would take into consideration. If they see that some particular number of people have told them that this category needs to be there, so they will definitely do some part from their own to bring that category in their store. Marketing by word of mouth. Like I've already told you, especially when the ticket value is higher, people want the opinion of others. If the ticket value is small, they would, okay, fine, they'll go by their own. But if the product value is high, then they want the opinion of their friends and family before, more than any form of advertising, because they know that the advertising is definitely to to not really, it's not giving them the real picture. So customer definitely, even if the advertising is worthy enough of what the product is, but still what I have seen is that customer goes for that product for which he has a good opinion from his friend or the family member. So if you get a customer to like your brand enough to recommend it to others, you have just recruited a marketer more effective than anyone on your staff. Like I already said, it saves your marketing cost and accordingly your marketing budget. So year on year basis, when you analyze the graphs, you'll see that when you're getting more of the repeat customer, your marketing budget is definitely needs to come down. Customer buying behavior. Customer creating an account in e-shopping website through analytics, his buying behavior can be tracked, and hence targeted information can be sent to him in the form of mailers, online ads, SMS. Okay, now here when the customer fills in the information on online, and then and also when the customer logs on to the website, for example Amazon, when we are browsing the website or any other website, for it can be, so there are features which the backend software, if the company is very big, they would definitely want to incorporate, because that involves artificial intelligence. So when a customer is suppose he's going to one category, let's say he's going for the household category, then he moves on to another category, then he again comes back to household category. So that behavior is tracked, and the next time when the customer, next day or day after that day, let's say today he has logged in, day after tomorrow he logs in again, then he would get a suggestive products that these are available for this much price. So all these paid, sometimes these are paid ads, sometimes this is done by the software itself through artificial intelligence. Now there are 5 levels of relationship marketing strategies that we can discuss. Basic marketing. Basic marketing is basically nothing. It's like selling simply for the sake of making money. Like for example, Nike commercial of LeBron James. LeBron James is a very famous NBA star, and they have a contract with him, and that contract is in billion. So he's been hired. Why? Because the youth considers him as a hero, so they know they don't need any feedback from the customer. If they have LeBron James in the commercial, customers would definitely buy their product. Next comes the reactive marketing, encouraging your customers to supply feedback, be it a complaint, comment, or suggestion, or random idea. So here the example what I have taken is the Starbucks. Starbucks maintains communication with their customers through emails, showing appreciation and informing them of new offers, and even ask for ideas from their customers on their dedicated web page. That makes that helps the customer to feel little privileged, that the company is sending them mails, and it is even in appreciating them that you have walked into our store, and then informing them of the new offers, that they can have a new combo at this price. So they even ask for ideas from their customers on their website. Accountable marketing. Okay, so now accountable marketing, a very good example over here would be, uh, this what I've taken is a last seat model, which is based on accountability. Now here what happens, that the customer gives them one price, that I want an airline seat at this price. Let's say they want to travel to Goa in the month of December, and there all the flight prices are expensive, but still there will be some cancellations, so they give this price to this particular website. Now the what will the responsibility of the website? The website will check with the airlines to get the best possible price, knowing that you will get a deal based on a selected price. It's pretty amazing. Why? Because that if you will search manually yourself, you will not be able to get, but this particular website is in directly touch with the airlines. So any seat goes vacant, if any, let's say somebody is falls sick, he's not traveling, so instead they will grab that ticket before, then they publicize it on their website, or on any Make My Trip or Skyscanner. So it has accountable marketing is basically meaningful two-way conversation with okay, meaningful marketing creates trust and provides good reasons for customers to choose the company's product. Yes, the accountability also is very important when you are buying the company's product, because you know accountable marketing helps them that okay, if you have bought the product, and you're satisfied with the product, you will definitely give good reviews, which will I'll cover. Proactive marketing. Proactive marketing takes things to an even more personal level. Businesses keep in regular contact with their customers. So here I've taken an example of Amazon Alexa. So if you know that Amazon Alexa, they are incorporating in those products which they feel that can be easily integrated with the whole family. It can be the speakers, it can be the lights. There was an Alexa Echo. They came up with this product. The product was such that it would click photograph of the person who wants to try new dresses, and from the online he wants to try the dresses. He would first click the photograph of that person in some particular dress, and then he would check with and would the other dresses which are online. So those dresses will be changed automatically and then will be sent to the other this experts which are there, who would give their own reviews whether it looks good on you or not, and accordingly the person could make a wise purchase. Partnership marketing. Partnership marketing helps encourage and maintain customer satisfaction levels through a mutually beneficial agreement with another business or with an individual customer. Here I have taken an example of what is partnership marketing is the Lay's. Lay's run an annual contest called Do Us a Flavor. They invite customers to submit ideas for new flavors of their chips. Customers can then vote on flavors that makes the shortlist via social media. The winning flavor gets added to the Lay's flavor lineup, and the customer who has who's won it gets the prize. Recently there is this company Cadbury's which has come up with on this campaign on a similar line. On social media you often see Cadbury's with this campaign of that they would offer you some, if you click on it they'll offer you some products which you can mix and submit it. If that flavor is considered that it's going to the hit flavor, then you'll get the prize. So I think I'll close now because it's 22 minutes, and because it has more of things to be covered. How is the relationship marketing plan developed? But as the time is not permitting, I will like to just uh, um, end the class over here. Thank you very much for listening about the relationship marketing.